Hi everyone, so today we're going to be having a look at how to reduce your setup times and hopefully never have to manually set up a job ever again. So how are we going to do that? We're going to be using probe WCS and then override driving WCS within that function. So what does that let us do? Well, what it allows us to do is have a static datum on our machine that never moves and update a local datum that is going to be unique to each part. So how do we go about doing that? We're going to be having a look at the system here with our Lang vice and work holding system. So this is our base plate. This sits in our machine, bolted to our bed, and is never moved or changed. So this is a nice, reliable, static part that I can have in Fusion and reference. So I'm going to bolt that into our machine, and I'm going to find somewhere on this that I can probe and set up. They do actually supply gauge blocks that you can use, but let's make it easy for now and say we're going to use the top face and the outer diameter. I'm now going to set that on our machine to G59. So what happens then is when I come to machine my first part, I'm going to put my vice in, put my block of material in, and in Fusion I'm going to program from that base of the vice, but I'm going to call it G54. So you're now thinking, well, you haven't set G54, you set G59. Now let's have a look why. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to probe the top of this block, and then I'm going to use override driving WCS to actually command the probe to move from G59. What that's going to do is the probe's going to move from the center in G59, probe this block, and then update G54. So G59 hasn't changed, but G54 is specific to exactly where this block of material is. So if this material was slightly to the left, I would know that and I would have the correct datum set for that block. Now the brilliant thing about this is tomorrow I might have a different part. I might have this part in our machine with our vice, but I'm still using that static G59 from our base plate, and then I'll probe our billet of material and use G54 from there. This works exactly the same for custom fixturing. We've got those location studs on the back of our fixture. We can have that down into our base plate and make sure then that we have a consistent datum that we never change from part to part. We've just seen the workflow over on our hearse with our Lang 0-point system, but it works exactly the same with traditional vices like this. We just had to look at how they work. So this has been bolted down to the machine bed, and we have a fixed jaw at the back and a moving jaw here at the front. So I can use that fixed jaw as my static datum that doesn't change from part to part. So I can put my block of material in my vice here, clamp it up, and now, as we discussed before, my probe is going to be driven from that datum. It's going to probe this block of material, update a different WCS, and I can start to machine that part without having to manually set it up. So hopefully now you can see that if you've got a quick change system, a 0-point system, a vice, a vacuum plate, whatever your work holding is, as long as you can identify a static location on your machine bed that you can model in Fusion, you can start to use this with override driving WCS to dramatically reduce your setup times and increase efficiency. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope this has been useful, and I'll see you all again next time.